YouTube. It is a Saturday morning. What I was going to do for the next video, I was going to do a walk around of our AMG GTS and also a bit of a workshop walk around, but actually a little bit of an opportunity has presented itself. Got a customer's W204 C63 in. He is in for stage 1 tuning, but BMC air filters. We have done BMC air filters with Shmee's C63 Blackseries. And we've also installed BMC air filters on Shmee's SLS Blackseries. And both times we actually saw significant gains from an air filter change. We still see on some of the C63 groups and stuff online, we still see people say, no, it doesn't make a difference, doesn't make a difference. But obviously, you know, these people, they're not testing them in basically laboratory conditions. So that is what I'm actually going to do today. Obviously, I will film the power runs, things like that, but what I'll do is I'll get it all warmed back up, stock data, see how it's running stock. These never make stock figures on our dyno. They're always, they can be 20 horsepower under. Then I will change the air filters and then we'll bring it back up to temperature, and then we will show you the gains on these NA engines, the 156 engine. We will show you the gains of just from a panel change, and then obviously I will show you the gains after we've tuned it as well. You join me inside the C63 AMG. So I'm just going to get it in the relevant gear. Everything's warmed back up again. Got to sync car and the dyno again. Oh, hang on. There we go, right. So I'll do a little pull with you guys on board, just so you can hear what's going on. I'll open a bit of a window so you guys can enjoy what is going on. Right, ready? Actually, I'll spin you around. Beautiful. What a noise. Gorgeous. Right, I will also get some footage of it externally so you can hear the roar. I'm going to do a couple more runs, get the car to settle down exactly where is its base figure going to be, because the first couple of runs you'll notice that it will make a little bit more power each time. I can already smell the cats are a little bit stinky, so they're having a bit of a heat up and a bit of a clear out. So I reckon 1 or 2 more runs and the cats will be clear. It's quite common on these because most people will, you know, bring them out for the weekend, poodle around. The manifolds and the cats won't get super hot, and anything that's built up won't get cleared out. So that is where we're at with it. Right, all of the stock runs are now complete. The car pulled 440 horsepower, so pretty decent. They're booked at 457 horsepower, and like I say, on our dyno, they've never ever made full power. They're always under. The Blackseries, the SLS Blackseries, all of them. The turbocharged engines, completely different. They're usually within a horsepower or two. These NA engines. Torque was really good because they're booked at 600 Newton meters. It pulled 609. So what I shall do is I will now install the air filters, then get everything back up to temperature and run it again, and we'll see how much of a gain an air filter on this particular car, 204 C63. This isn't a performance pack or 507 or anything like that. Stock car, you know, just W204 C63, and we'll see the difference an air filter makes. Quick thing to note, so I'm about to pull the air boxes off. The front of the cover, 1 second, they're quite easy to crack. People don't always know where the clipping points are, so they'll grab from here when really the clip is here and the clip is here. So you want to try and pull from here, you know, get your fingers underneath there, because otherwise, look, this happens. You can see where it's split basically around the clip. And from the underside, you can see that that clip was mangled, but you can see that they've obviously patched it up from this side. Like I say, you know, things happen. Someone obviously had snapped it, and I don't think they're particularly dear to buy, but I'll let the customer know what I found. He probably already knows. He knows his car very well. It's very well looked after, fine example of one, so yeah, I will let him know now. Also, being a Saturday morning means we have Miles from PVV. He comes and looks after the GLS for us. For Miles, I will add a link in the description to his Instagram page. He's really, really good. Young lad. He looks after a ton of my different customers' cars. He comes on a Saturday morning and looks after our GLS. Yeah, he's really, really good. So give him a little check out. Give him a follow. And if you require his services, say that you saw. You know, we did a little video from Gad, and he will look after you. Right, so for these air boxes, 1 second. Right, for these air boxes, each side has 5 T25s. Just be a little bit careful with the one at the back, because if you don't have a good enough grip on it, you can end up dropping it. And then on these Jubilee clips, just 6mm, undo them, and then that gives you enough purchase to be able to just pop it out of that little holder, and then we can change the air filters. These have definitely seen better days. So this might actually make a little bit more of an improvement than I initially thought, because these could have been done with being changed quite a little while ago, so that's definitely going to be a restriction. You think as well, big naturally aspirated engine, these things are just big air pumps, so if you can get more air in and you can get more air out, then the engine is just basically going to make more power. It's just going to help, you know, those throttle bodies, as soon as it opens and it's sucking and trying to pull air through these, obviously you're not giving it an easy enough time. So yeah, I think this is going to be a good little video. I think it's going to show off quite well what's going to be, you know, what the changes are going to be. Here we go, guys. New filters are in, so I'm just going to whack those boxes back on and bring the car back up to temperature, and then we will see how it now performs, see if there's any improvement in horsepower and torque. Right, I've quickly just jumped out. The results are very interesting. Let me quickly get everything up. Right, and then let me quickly cover some things up. So obviously customer doesn't want reg to be known. So, stock form, 440 horsepower, 609 newton meters of torque. Dropping in the air filters, running everything back up again, so everything's back up to temperature, tyres back up to temperature, oil, fluids, etc, etc. I think it's probably helped the BMCs, the fact that we were not expecting the filters that were in it to be so soiled, but 453 horsepower, so it's found 13 horsepower, and newton meters of torque, what's that, 18 newton meters. Now if you were to look at the deltas, it's actually picked up power and torque everywhere. I mean, top end it's in and out a little bit, but really that can just be anything. That can be a bit of noise from the dyno. Figures are one thing. The thing that doesn't lie, what you're seeing here is the red line is the stock, the initial stock runs, and that red line is the amount of work that the rear retarder is having to do. The green line is the new one. So actually you can see, forget the horsepower and torque numbers for 1 minute. There's always people that will say, oh, this can be done and that can be done. This can't be tricked. The retarder is now having to do more absorbing of the torque than it did before, which means there is, more energy is coming out the back end of that car that the dyno is having to absorb. So there is categoric proof. That's excellent. Yeah, we always put BMCs. We always recommend BMCs to clients as a drop-in panel. Of course, we also supply the e-Venturi intakes, which on our own GTS we picked up, I think it was 18 horsepower. So yeah, these things do make a difference, and people will say this, that and the other. And again, I see it quite a lot online. It's people who have no means or have not actually ever tested this themselves will just have an opinion and will spout that opinion with no actual evidence, which is always fun. It's great, isn't it, when people do that? So yeah, that's categorically, that's made more power and more torque. The dyno is having to work harder to absorb that energy that's now coming out of the car, which has increased. So I will now get on to tuning it and getting the customer on his way. So yeah, I'm sure he'll be over the moon with that. We are all done, ladies and gentlemen. So let me cover it. Hold on. So 440 to 453. To be fair, this is a particularly strong one. We don't usually see more than sort of between 5 and 510 stage one. Yeah, this thing ripped to 520 horsepower, 676 newton meters of torque. Customer is going to be over the moon with that. That is, yeah, that is a very good one. It just goes to show. So customer, car's done about 50,000 miles. We always recommend to customers, if they've done over 40,000 miles, to replace the injectors. These are common to have an injector failure, and it can go, one of a couple of ways. It can either cause a cylinder to get far too hot and then you melt something, or it can go the other way and it can hydro the engine, which just bends everything. So either way, not a good outcome. So customer a few weeks ago actually swapped all the injectors out, so that's basically prerequisite. We do still tune these, even though we have guidelines, anything over 10 years we don't, but if it's low mileage and it's had all of the the care bits taken care of, injectors mainly on this, then we are still happy to tune them. So yeah, customers can be over the moon with that. Obviously we always, as standard, we take the speed limiter out, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I shall leave it at that. That was a bit of a BMC C63 special, that one. Next week I'll probably do you know, maybe a walk around of our GTS and, you know, a walk around of the workshop, see what's going on, show you, you know, maybe a little dynocell video, show you the waiting room so you guys can see what we get up to. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope everyone has eaten plenty of chocolate over Easter. So yeah, catch you on the next one, guys.